My phone while we're live. All right, we should be live
Here we
on
go.
YouTube and for the first time, Twitter/X today. So we'll see how that does. It's a whole new avenue. We're multi-streaming now, big time streamers in the stock market industry. So we're coming, but yeah,
Yeah.
different time slot this week. But how's it going, George? How you feeling about the market today?
But I mean, I think that some people there's a lot of things going on, like why this week is a little different. Sorry for anyone, especially our paid users. I'm gonna send something out soon um about some of the things that we want to do uh to keep uh to keep up, and I'm going to catch up a bit this weekend. But part of it is like I'm still figuring out exactly how I want to do the newsletter this year. I'm weighing a lot of information. There's the one side where I don't like what I would actually like to do is not just make picks every Sunday, and just make picks more just like streaming to the paid users. But I don't really want to punish the free users that much, in which they don't have it. But like I guess the argument is Sunday looks the same and you just know whatever our picks are, but there might be more updates. I don't know if anybody has any opinions um on that part. But yeah, that's part of the reason there haven't been any letters. Either way, I'm planning to do like a lot more this weekend. I have some plans for like some reviews. Like I've got a very interesting Xerox case study. Um, but yeah, I'm thinking about how to make the letters better this year, and I'm just a little hesitant to even when I commit to a format, I commit to it for the whole year. Um, so there will be more letters. There's some makeups coming this weekend. Sorry for anybody that's been waiting for them. I've tried to do these streams to just let you guys know kind of more live what I'm thinking and like why I'm doing it that way. Um, but yes, a lot more to come. Stay tuned, especially like our paid subscribers, I think are going to be very, very happy. And if you go in our Discord, and Steven could probably drop the link, there's still discounts in our Discord for 50% off both of our paid letters. So yeah, we've actually had since I started this, like an extra 16 people join. Maybe this is the time we should be streaming, Steven. Um, but yes, there's a lot more letters to come this weekend. I'm figuring out how I want to do the newsletter picks this year. But either way, anyone that's followed us since 2022, we got better in 23, and I think it's going to be even better in 24. I just really have to figure out exactly how um, I want to both make the picks as timely as possible, but also not punish our free users that don't get the live picks as much. Um, because there does need to be some incentive as well to pay for our service. But I will keep the Sunday letter the same, I think. It's just a question of like whether I will make picks more frequently or not. Um, that's the only thing I'm debating. I will answer the question on marathon, but I will get right into my. We got a lot of people here, so actually a lot of vacillating people. Um, so we will get right into kind of the market update. I want to get a live uh, QQQ here. Yeah, 16 not looking very healthy. Obviously, people that follow my model portfolio um, know that I've been definitely uh, definitely keeping it more short than long. Um, Especially now, like I think the live update, just so you guys can know, even if you don't stay to the full update at the end, the live count is 34 long and 54 short. So yeah, I've been pretty good on staying ahead of this turn. I would say. Um, we'll look at the technicals a little later. We'll look at all of that. Um, So, Jonathan, in terms of marathon, um, it's the same problems like as crypto. It's like it's a little better in that we can see where people are betting on options on the miners, but it's also just like so related to the price of crypto. And the price of crypto, like we've talked about, is so opaque because we don't get full transparency on the derivatives. So it's the exact same problem. it's a little better. I'll tell you the same thing that I tell that I say for other crypto, which is just like if you want blockchain exposure, crypto exposure, just buy block. BLOK. Easiest thing, best way to diversify. Don't ever get too cute. Like Bitcoin is too much risk, Marathon is too much risk, Riot is too much risk, it's too much risk.
So on Tuesday, we highlighted how there was a big change in the signals in the markets, and obviously QQQ net options went way down. Seems like we're seeing that continue today, correct, with your update in the beginning. So I noticed that the SPY net option sentiment is still over 40. So do you expect either the SPY to drop to QQQ or the QQQ to rise to the SPY? Do they have to meet, or can they stay separated for an extended period of time?
I mean, Spy has been doing better. Um, and I think that that's just a function of like, especially when we talk about like profitability and like diversification. Like the Spy is going to do better, like just because we are basically talking about risk exposure, right? So when even when you're talking about tech, tech is obviously riskier. When people are bullish, it goes up more than the SPY. When people are bearish, it goes down more than the SPY because it's not as profitable. So as there gets to be concerns, you come for less profitable companies. So I think that there's a reason. I think there's a lot of concern about profits as it relates to especially consumer spending. And if you're saying like, if you are where I am, which is like, I think the bull case is still alive, but I've never dropped my. Obviously, you guys have been hearing me. Anyone that watches, you're been hearing me talk about consumer credit. I don't know, Stephen. 8 months, like, and like that's the thing about the market that is a very good lesson. Like, you can keep talking about something and it could like not really like I actually got an alert that Deutsche Bank basically like issued a warning on consumer credit yesterday. So like these things can linger, they can hang around for a while. Um, but yeah, that's basically like what we're talking about. Like, I think the consumer credit thing is alive until it's dead, and it is very much alive. Like, obviously, we're seeing like signs of that worsening and more warnings. So that's alive. And this bull market, I would also call like less living, but still alive until it's dead. Like that was a really good rally. Like I think we're gonna talk about AI still, right, Stephen? Um, like I think that like there's some tech things, but there's also just the reality. So even if you're just like, okay, like why is QQQ net option sentiment so low? Because there's a lot of growth companies in there, right? If you see a tech company that's got a very solid profitability plus growth, like Meta, which we've kept in our portfolio, then you know that's still good. Even if the QQQ is not good, that's still good in our opinion. But like, yeah, once you start getting to like, we did like for a while, we had like Confluent in there, which I really like because like Kafka is a great database and it's like part of the future and like everything, and it's good for streaming data. But that had like a 42 profitability and a 72 growth. And that's like the perfect example of the kind of company that like if people are more confident in the market, that's going to do very well, and if they're less, it's going to do very badly. And personally, I'd rather not gamble on that, and that's why the S&P is doing better, in my opinion.
So you brought up the consumer a little bit, and that leads us right into our first topic about some Adobe analytics that they released of holiday spending, which they tracked from November 1st to December 31st. And it rose 4.9% this year to $222.1 billion. It was the first time that mobile orders or purchases did better than desktop. So that was a flip for the first time this year. But,
I think
you
we
know,
saw
the
that for Amazon too, did we not?
I think so. Yes. I
Yeah.
remember we shared a similar thing. I think it was for Black Friday or something. Um, so yeah, it seems like mobile is becoming, more popular than online computer sales. But the consumer's still spending up 4.9% year over year. So do you think that's just, the rubber band stretching as far as it could go right now?
Yeah, I mean, Adobe, like, they do a lot of B2B. So, like, I'm not sure, like, yeah, there's some consumer, But like even me, I pay for Adobe products through my business. Like even though I also use it personally. So like I don't think they're the best marker of like consumer spending. Um but yeah, I would absolutely say that that's what I think makes this market hard. And like sometimes like I've said this a lot of the times like, you know, don't worry too much that you don't understand what's happening in the market. I don't think the market is fully like I think there's a lot of disagreement and a lot of bull bear testing right now. So like yeah, you should never be that upset with yourself that you can't understand. Sometimes it's hard to understand and like the professionals don't understand. Um so I think that that's a really big thing. Uh and yeah, basically like what we're talking about there um is that uh I think that we definitely like Adobe. Like, I think we're seeing some good net option sentiment recovery coming in the last few days. Um, but yeah, I think that that's definitely not consumer spending. In my view, I think that's more B2B. And I think that's exactly what we've been talking about. Like the B2B side, especially like for a company that has like AI products rolling out. Which by the way, Meta, we've been talking about Meta's AI products. I got my first AI option on Meta today. So here it comes. We've been talking about it. Um, but yeah, anything that touches uh anything that touches AI, um, I think you're still going to see like some good B2B energy behind it, some optimism. Um, but yeah, I actually am wondering, Stephen, do you know the people that are on Twitter? Is that like, are they seeing video or are they just getting audio?
Yeah, so I'm looking at our Twitter one right now. There's video, audio. Well, I actually don't know if there's audio, but there has to be. We have 10 people in there right now. But
No,
they
I
see the
see.
video.
Um, Great. Welcome to our first X broadcasters. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Uh, we. I was actually asking because I was like, I'm gonna update our model portfolio at the end of this, and I was like, I don't know how much narration I'm gonna have to do that because I do spaces, but I'm glad to know my narration will not have to be tons. And if you guys haven't seen that, I'd recommend you stick around for it. You'll definitely get to see some interesting stuff about how I use the signals at the end here. All right. I answered your question, right, Stephen?
Yes, I believe so. I believe that was pretty thorough. I think we're just going to have to keep watching it. It's going to play out in 2024. Wow, I'm happy to see all the people joining in on YouTube today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment them. We're going to keep running through our topics, but,
Yeah,
feel free.
we've been losing out on this whole X audience the whole time.
Yeah. So this is a topic that once I saw this story about Yeti, I don't know if it's personal experience that I had over the holidays, but let me tell you this. So I have a family where there's like 5 to 10 girls who are like 15 to 30 in it. And every single one of them on Christmas had a Stanley mug and not a Yeti. Stanley is like the newest trend that's taking over like the whole like thermos market. And I saw this story about today how Yeti got downgraded and their stock was down. And I wonder if there's any connection there. But have you noticed this trend with Stanleys at all, or anybody in our chat?
Yeah, I was about to be like, I'm apparently not in the water bottle game deep enough, but I remember like a lot of Yetis being around. I can't remember what I use because like I'm always losing them, like literally on planes and things. Um, but no, thanks, Haley. Haley always knows this stuff better than me. Um,
So this
but
is
oh yeah, TikTok.
this
There we go.
this is what happened, George. A Stanley survived like a car fire, and it went viral on TikTok, I think, and now it's like the hottest like brand in that space based off of that event. Like my little sister, who's a sophomore in high school, got 3 Stanleys for Christmas. Like she's all over it. It's
Oh my
crazy.
god. Well, that's one of those things that's so funny because like what I care about in a water bottle is not will it survive a fire, you know? Like, but you're just like, yeah, these things just go crazy, and it's just like, I mean, that's the world we live in, and I do find it very entertaining that that's the kind of thing that like makes it like And I always find it funny those phone cases when you have people like throwing the phone or like whatever, and it's just like they're just like 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 I don't trust that because I've had so many phone cases that I feel like I've like cracked my screen with a case because it just like hit the corner in the wrong place. Um, but yeah, I do think that is an interesting part of how products work, and there's a lot of energy. And like, yeah, I'm looking upside breakout just like tank on Yeti over the last like down, like in a straight downturn. Option sentiment is a little loopier. Um, but yeah, I definitely think that I mean here's the thing, and we've talked about it a little bit that I think is very important about stocks. And I mean, it's about the world we live in a little bit, but especially about stocks. And it's kind of unique and like why it's like a different kind of risk reward when you're a public company versus a private company. Because, like, when you're a private company, you only need to worry about selling products, right? That's it. You sell products, you make your profits. That's it. Like, yes, public perception matters in the sense that like nobody wants to piss off people anymore. Like, but at the same time, like at the end of the day, your sales are your sales. But now we have these situations where like you're Yeti, and like not only are you facing the sales problem, but then your stock goes down. All of a sudden, it's harder for you. Like your that means your executive compensation is worse, and maybe you start losing people getting poached by Stanley because like they can offer better, packages because the company perception. And then you also like have the thing that like when you start going into that spiral where your stock also leads to less like of a marketing budget, a talent drain, so your actual product results gets worse, which like works your stock. Like that's the problem with being a public company. You can get into a better bit of a death spiral that way. Whereas like as a private company, you can worry a lot more about just like, okay, are we selling like, are we selling water bottles or not? You know, like you could just like focus much more on that. Where it's like, no, when you're a public company, there's definitely like, A, are we selling water bottles? B, like, are people bullish enough on us that we're gonna like, is that gonna create problems if they're not? So like, yeah, like there is managing public perception, and then there's being a public company and like the requirement to manage manage it well.
Yeah, good on Stanley for using this opportunity to like take over with their brand. I mean, I think it shows how social media can be used nowadays to just like spark interest in your product. Okay, next stock we have on the docket to talk about is Microsoft, which made a change to their keyboard, which hadn't been changed in 3 decades. They're adding a Copilot button to their keyboard, so it's like an AI feature where you could just tap it and it'll bring up their AI Copilot when you're using a Windows product. And it's going to be available on all of their products starting after February. Do you think this is going to be a reason for people to maybe look at, Windows over Mac or other laptops? Do you think it's bullish for Microsoft, or is it just, a stage in the evolution of the AI wave?
I mean, do you have more specifics on like exactly what like the features are? I can look them up.
Well, it's not changing anything with their Copilot right now. I think it's just easing the access of you being able to like pull it up, and it's actually going to be a button on their keyboard. That's just like it's called Copilot key, and it just brings up their like AI assistant in their computer.
Eh, Here's the thing about all of this AI stuff, like, and Microsoft, and like I see them, they're doing a little better, but like, in terms of upside breakout, their net option sentiment with like all this AI craze has been a little down. But it's definitely still pretty high, and it's like I would say coming back up a little bit. Um, but the thing is like, and we talk about this, it's just like differentiating excitement from product. And like the bottom line is like I've used Copilot like I actually hear people see very good things about Copilot for coding. Like that's I think the way better application in their GitHub like that and like everything there. But like I don't think any of that Copilot AI assistant stuff is all that useful yet. Like, and I just think it's just like, and part of that is like, I think it's going to have to be more of a home integration because, like, people have seen me here, and if you haven't, you'll probably see me soon. I type very quickly, like, and I move very quickly. Like, by the time I'm talking to this stupid thing, like, I could have done 6 tasks. And like, I do that all the time. Like, I can't tell you how many times just I'm being a little lazy and I'm asking Siri for the weather or like whatever, and like it's just not working, and I'm spending more time talking to this stupid machine than like actually doing the task. Um, and I think like that's where I land on it, where it's like there are um there are things that there are uh there are things that like are legit new products that can be created, new markets, new things that it's just like, yeah, I'm much more open to hearing about those. And like, even like what we're talking about in terms of meta, like, can they effectively create a way to support chat that helps you? You know, that is just like what I would love for chat is something that's just like maybe even sending me reminders that people message me or like, hey, do you want to say this? Like, that kind of thing is, I think, is a really good product and a new product. But like, if you're asking me if like AI assistant, like Siri's been pretty good for a while, and I would consider it useless just because like it doesn't have a good interface, and like clicking isn't a good interface. Like VR or like I'm saying a home interface that has like a better thing, like that's the problem, not the tech, the interface. So like yeah, they're gonna be like building it up, but like that's the problem with these AI assistants. And it's always just like, it's all the way back to like Clippy, the Microsoft thing that everybody made fun of. Like, it's like at the end of the day, like the question is not like, can we be helped by these support tools or whatever? And like, don't even get me started on like help files and how like annoying, um, like and silly they are. Um, because they never really work. They never get me where I want to go. Like, and I would consider like I would consider an extension of that to be these like co-pilot like helpers or like whatever. Especially when Google exists or typing exists or whatever, like, and you can work on the syntax and whatever. But like, yeah, if they figure out a new, better interface and way to interact with it, then I'm interested.
So
But I
before we
think
move on
Wall Street will be too.
to our next scheduled topic, we have a question from Wolf. I don't really understand things he's referencing it, but he's basically asking you if there's going to be a Big Short 2 coming up. Um, Something to do with US versus India, it looks like.
All right. The first thing is I'm going to give you like a hard and fast rule about Wall Street, and that is anytime you're talking about a law or a regulation, that's some like Reddit bullshit that probably originated from a hedge fund trying to manipulate you. Like, just to be very clear, laws get passed to benefit hedge funds, not to benefit you. Like, never. Like, and to benefit Wall Street, hedge funds are maybe too narrow. That's why laws get passed. So, you asking me this is the wrong question. If you're asking me this, it means some hedge fund has gotten to you through, I imagine, a Reddit channel or whatever to get you excited about something that's going to benefit them. Um, Big Short, too. Like, sorry, I'm going to go on a few tangents here. Like, the market doesn't repeat. Stop looking for it to repeat. It has some similar patterns. Like the moment you're asking yourself if you're going to see the same thing again, that's you not learning the number one lesson of the market, which is like it doesn't repeat. Everything's new, everything's nuanced. Don't try to put the market in a box. Everybody that does well in the market respects that you can't put it in a box. You need to treat every situation uniquely. Um, don't try to create rules that don't exist because, like, um, I'll tell you an interesting machine learning lesson around this. And it's like actually something that I do better than a lot of other people. Like, I actually shrink my training set because actually, the more that I've studied, like including more data, you actually include the longer you go back, the more you're including data for formulas that don't work anymore. And like actually a big part of like why you can't like basically like what everybody on the machine learning side like theories are is like basically all of the old information is always built into the current information in the market. Basically, you're looking at an entire history of every arbitrage, every formula that anybody's ever tried. When someone wins in the market, that's them understanding all of that already. So, like, if you're looking backwards, you're basically being like, sorry, I don't mean this like, I mean this in the most positive way. We love that you come here, Wolf. Like, I want you to be smart. Like, and I'm not saying anyone's like smart or stupid inherently. I'm saying that it is not a smart way to be to like look and grasp at these rules of old to find new. You find new by finding new. Like, you look what's in front of you, you see what's happening, you figure out what makes sense today. The more you're looking at yesterday, the more you're just overweighting stuff that is not only probably not very relevant today, but also just like already baked into today. So you do better focusing on today and recent. Does that answer your question? Sorry, I know I didn't answer it very directly.
I guess we'll wait for Wolf to answer
Like
quickly.
to summarize, the moment you find yourself talking about some law and thinking that you have the angle on how to do well from that law, stop yourself. You're wrong. You don't.
Hmm.
And
Every
neither does
situation is
anyone on the
different.
internet talking to you. And like, nor do I. So
I thought
yeah.
I found the point you made very interesting about how you think like a hedge fund could have planted whatever idea. Like that whole concept seems a little conspiracy-esque, but I know like you know the industry, so it's really not. Like when people hear that, they'll be shocked by it.
Oh,
But
look at Reddit and AMC, GME, but like Bed Bath and Beyond, like to the day Bed Bath and Beyond like filed for bankruptcy, there were people like hedge funds planning stories that oh we've got the hedge funds like mother Moas is coming, mother of all short squeezes, like to the day it declared bankruptcy and after they brainwashed those people so goddamn well that like they even after the bankruptcy they were saying thinking they were still going to get their payday. Like yes, hedge funds brainwash people. Like what people don't actually know is actually like hedge funds actually do a much better job of being like positive shills than negative. There's this whole narrative that like hedge funds just like trash companies so they short. But like the bottom line is actually everybody knows that game and is aware of it. So actually they don't pursue that as much because they know that people know that playbook. People actually haven't figured out yet this playbook that hedge funds will sell you on a dream, like as they pump the stock up and down and make money selling you options, like, and then shorting it back down. Like, um, so yeah, like that is real. That's not a conspiracy. I watched it with my like anyone who wants to like go to my AMC group. There's actually a new thread today of people telling me, even though it just hit an all-time low, um, people are like, someone actually said to me when I was like, no, this is what I told you. This is heading towards bankruptcy. I've been telling you that. Someone's response to that actually was, oh, this is how I know we're right because you're making an effort to try to tell me it's going to be bankrupt. And I'm just like, you fucking idiot. Like, sorry. It's just like, I could have saved these people and tried. And there's a lot of people in that group that are very grateful that I saved them a lot of money. Um, but yeah, these people uh these people actually are that brainwashed that they could have basically have lost all like AMC is trading at 55 cents at the old price. And like a lot of them even got in, even the early ones got in at like $5. So they're basically like even the best case scenario is you taking a 90% loss now. And those people are like, I've never been more sure I'm right than now. And it's just like that's hedge fund brainwashing and that's going on every day.
crazy stuff. All right, let's run. We have two more topics, and I want to get to our model portfolio like on a good time today. So, Kellanova, they just had their third brand within their portfolio become $1 billion brand per year. That was Pop Tarts. The other two are Pringles and Cheez-Its. They also do Eggos and Rice Krispie treats. Kellanova, it's a stock we don't really talk about much, maybe more boring on the boring side, but I like to throw in some stocks that, we don't really cover a lot. So how do you feel about, Kellanova and but they're also like, these food companies in general investing in?
Where are my Killanova signals, Steven?
Coming right up. I forgot to do that
I'll
one.
look at them myself. Yeah, I need to see. How do you spell
Ticker
that? Do you know the
ticker is
ticker?
K. K. It says Kellogg and Prospero. They just like changed their name, but it's K.
Oh my god, they rebranded. Sorry, what was the question? I was distracted by the fact that you hung me out to dry on these signals.
Uh, I always like to spin it like beyond this company in particular, but then also just like these food companies in general. Maybe just for me to name a few, like Kraft, like all these, packaged food companies. If you think that's a good investment at all.
No. Like, not only do I really not like consumer state like consumer cyclical companies right now because of consumer spending worries, and I think those are the exact same kind of things that get cut. Like, it doesn't look great in Prospero, and also just like the kind of stocks I like, other than indexes, in case everybody's clear, like other than just like very profitable like companies that like are growing, like I like stocks that have exciting businesses that like when they start going up, people are like, oh, that's an interesting business model. Like, I think I actually want to like bet on this, right? Who's saying that about Kellogg's? You know, who's excited about buying options in Kellogg's? And like, not many people. And that's just kind of how I view things. Like, I like to own things that I either think people are missing the value on, um, or things that people want to speculate on. And like, I don't think a brand like as well known as like Kellogg's, or I guess now like Kellanova, or brands that make such well known products, those are ever gonna like have like very hidden value. Um, and then on the other side, it's just like the upside is just not exciting. Like,
So yeah.
unless like they come out with some like new cereal or something. Like,
Mhm.
if I read that they were onto like some new cereal technology, like then I would be interested in Kellogg's. Like, if they're just like, yeah, we can grow healthier cereal in a lab at like a third of the cost. I'd be like, that's interesting. Maybe I will invest in Kellogg's, but they're not that company.
Mhm. So last topic, AI was, the most important thing in the market in 2023. Kind of had a coming out party, even though it had been in development for like a long time. Um, I wanted to ask you, like, is it possible that it could have a second leg in 2024, and it'll be a round two of where, every AI company and all these announcements. Obviously, we talked about a Microsoft one before, but where AI can lead the market again this year.
I mean, definitely, like AI is like, and this is the thing, like, and we've talked about it before, but you can't say this too many times. Like, a lot of people are asking if like AI is the tech bubble, and it's like, no, it's not the tech bubble. And here's the difference: like, pets.com was never a real business. It never had a real business model. The fact that it was even like a publicly traded company is like a little weird, but that was just the time. Like, especially given its financials at that time, and like people were just like betting on it way too much. And that's obviously like the thing that everybody picks on, but there were tons of terrible valuations at that time. But like AI is very real. Like, and it's a real business, and like look no further than Nvidia to know how real it is, and all the chips people are buying. And like, you can even look at like our like the American government's best strategy to like stopping like China's dominance in AI is to like take away Nvidia chips. Like, so that tells you just how much and how serious everybody is about AI in one little sentence. Looks like you want to jump in.
Yeah, so I was actually Elon Musk went on like a live space yesterday. I was listening to him speak, and he mentioned about how the like AI technology. He said this, so I don't know if it's true or not, but I would imagine it's somewhere in the ballpark. is like the development of it is 10xing every 6 months. And he mentioned how Kuwait is planning a project where they're going to use 700,000 NVIDIA B100s, which are 60 to 100 times more powerful than an A100. So I just wanted to share that in our, this is happening this year of how, this is a whole country. I mean, I don't really understand the terms of 700,000 NVIDIA B100s, but I'd imagine you could explain that a little bit better.
You what?
I think just to like work on AI projects, just have a massive amount of computing power.
Oh no, I'm so interested. I have to think that's for like exploration or efficiency, like because like that's really funny. And if Haley's still here, she's gonna laugh because I like one of my favorite stories is like I actually went to college with a Kuwaiti prince who like basically for those that don't know, Kuwait pays you to be a citizen and they pay you a lot more to be a prince. But obviously there's a lot of princes, like his dad had a lot of wives. But and he got like weird bonuses for like going to school in America or whatever. Like Daich was his name. He also always kept Kuwaiti hours even through the whole school year. It was a very weird situation. Um, but uh, the funny part about that is that like the one story that I always loved that he told me is like him and like his brothers like would always like go like to the elders in Kuwait and they would be like, should we modernize? Like blah blah blah. We have these other ideas. I want to invest in this or that or the other thing. Um, and and they would like very annoyingly like say the exact same thing to these younger generations. They say we came from the dust and someday we will return to it, like, which for those that don't get the undertones of that basically just means like we got this money and we will spend it all, like, before like like before it's nothing and like we don't care. So that's really interesting because that was about one of my favorite stories about like a backwards country, but like perhaps I need to revise that because like even they're like, maybe they're like we need to be an AI now, not like die in the dust. Um Even they can't ignore it. That like in a roundabout way, I'm not sure you intended to do it, but supports our point that we're making here even more. Um but yeah, I mean the thing is like the last thing to say about it before I need to do the model portfolio is essentially that um we we haven't even really seen what AI is going to do. Like, and also like what people know AI to be. Like, there's a lot of I would say confusion, like just not people really understanding it. Like, but what I will say about it is that like there are so many things that especially like take the self-driving car for example, like there's regulatory hurdles more than there are like technology hurdles, and like I think that's honestly the big message, that it's just like there's a lot of like, and I understand there's a lot of people that are just like don't know about AI, talking about AI, like trying to look cool, trying to look modern, all that stuff. Like I'm sure you've heard the CEO of your company say some stupid stuff about AI. Um, because they don't know and they're trying to know and they're trying to look smart and modern. So that's probably where a lot of people are like, well, this isn't really anything because they're hearing idiots that know nothing about AI talk about AI. But the truth of it is that if you really want to know what AI can do, watch a show called Person of Interest. Then you'll know what AI can do. Like that's talking about a super intelligence that we are debatably far. Smart minds can differ how far away we are from strong AI or super intelligence or whatever. We've talked about like we could probably pull up a different clip. Like I've given a whole lecture on um like broad AI and self-learning systems and things like that. Um, but I think people don't like. I think people are just looking at like tinkering around in Chat GPT or whatever. But like we are not far away from robots and automation the likes of what nobody's ever really seen. And like that's why I talk about the chips that are being sold. Like the chips tell that story. The cloud expansion tells that story. people are ramping up for that.
Can't wait for the AI takeover.
All right, time for the portfolio. Oh my
Yep.
God, Wolf, that's a good joke. It took me a second. You didn't need the dogs eat can't eat chocolate. I actually would have gotten that. I was like, I was not thinking about the wolf part. But actually, I will, as I'm getting things like set up, I will tell you a funny story about chocolate. Um, the dog that is sometimes in my live streams, Charlie. One time I was coming home from California, and I love, like, me and like everybody else loves like Reese's. Um, and I I brought home some, like, small Reese's peanut butter cups, and Charlie had himself a little party. And he got in there and he went through all of the Reese's peanut butter cups. He just like tore through them. And we like went and like saw like they were just like all over the apartment. Like, he had himself a really good time. According, like, dogs can't eat chocolate. So we were like, yeah, of course. And so we get him to the hospital, and then like, or like the vet, and like the following hilarious thing happened. The vet was like, "Oh yeah, that's not a problem," and we were just like, "What?" They were just like, "Oh, they were like Reese's peanut butter cups. Like honestly, like he could have eaten a few bags of them and been fine." And we were just like, "What? I thought dogs couldn't eat chocolate." And the vet's like, "There isn't really any chocolate in Reese's peanut butter cups." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense. It's just mostly sugar." Um, but so yes, that's like the funny part about your joke, Wolf. That like depending on the chocolate, you actually could eat it. Probably a chocolate chip cookie. There's also not enough chocolate in. All right. Let's check out what's. Whoa. Oh God. Looks like it's time to dump SNPS. Struggle City. Oh no. It looks like maybe it's just coming out. Let's see. What is it? Down 4. We might hold on a little bit. What we're gonna do. Yeah, oh yeah, it looks like it's coming out of it a little bit. See, this is why we look at our technicals. What we're going to do is we're going to do the dreaded bold, where now I'm watching it. Which means I should check VMC again. Yeah, you're coming out of it too. Is the whole market coming out? 4 hours. Yeah, let's check on the SPY. Yeah, SPY's not doing good. How about the hour? A little bit better. How about 15? Ugh. Bad end to the day, it looks like. How about you? Are you on the same page? Yeah, the QQQ is not looking healthy. Oh, that means it's speeding up. All right, looks like we're bearish again today. So we're probably not going to spend too much time on this. We might check out Apollo. Rocket Lab's really recovered. I'm glad I held that. Which is just a really dumb name for a company. I really don't like that name. I'm just like, oh, it's on the upswing, holding on. That might, if you like Rocket Lab, might be a good time to buy. Oh, dear God. Tesla is at 65 net option sentiment. That might as well be 0. Um, Yet it's up. I don't know. I think we're gonna drop it. Yeah, we're gonna drop Tesla. Sorry, Tesla. I do not like that. Um, all right. Now, do we have anything new here? 341, still the same thing. Shorts. Steven, did you do QQQ? Um,
QQ. I did all the ones you
and
sent me.
SPI yet? Yeah. You looked at those?
Yeah, they're all in that Google Docs.
I just didn't look. You're looking at what I'm looking at, Steven. Why so much sass from you?
Oh no, I
No,
just mean like
I'm just kidding.
even the other stocks
No,
like
I'm
besides
just
SPY.
I'm just kidding. I think I've told you this. I call Steven my favorite employee all the time. He's very agreeable.
I have not heard
I
that, but
told
I
you
like
that,
to hear
right? No,
it.
I maybe I don't want you to get a big head.
I will
Jay,
remain humble, always.
I say that to other people. Yeah, yeah, don't get a big head and stop. You could lose that title any day. Um, and also, I mean, the other thing that's kind of a joke because I don't really like to call people employees. Like, I like to say that I work with people, not that they work for me. What's going on with this? But technically, you're an employee. Um, I don't even know what to make of this thing. 2 hours. Yeah, we're holding on to this. I don't see any reason. We did really well with this mist thing. Oh, is it finally the end of mist? No, I don't think so. But that was an interesting little. We're gonna bold mist. It might be the end for mist. We've had a nice little run with it. Let's go on with KRG. That looks good. That looks good. How about the 30? Ooh, I don't know. We're gonna bold it. It's a very bolding day for us. It's just a way to get through this fast. Um, Anything else? Ooh, that's higher than yesterday. Papa John. Oh, see? Something might be happening here. In the room. All right, a quick glance, and then we're gonna get into the new thing. Maybe ES, maybe FFIN. Yeah. No, wait, no. Oops. Yeah, we wanted this. We're good. Good on that. All right, we might have something here. 15. Nope. We're keeping FFIN. Okay. We're actually pacing nicely here. Now we're gonna look at the little things that Steven made for us. Um, um, Google. Oh, that looks fine. MLM backup. Glad we held. Yearn, good. Yeah, I do not like what's going on with QQQ and SQI. I do not like it. Anything else we need to check out here? Wait. Sorry, we missed some stuff. I don't know how we're George. Fine there. What's the other one? Yeah, DEI. We finally got a profit on DEI. We've been hamstrung. I hope we don't like. Oh no, I think we took another one. Oh, yeah, we're getting out of DEI. We don't. We're getting out with our profit, and then IRBT. We're running. We're running for the hills with that DEI profit. Um, no, that looks pretty good. Oh, that looks great. I might take another IRBT. We'll see how it is in the rankings. All right. What do we say? We're getting out of DEI. Now let's do our little. Now let's do our little screener. One, want. This is the downside breakout one. Yeah. Perfect. All right. What we got here? 13. And how many there? 16. I don't know how it worked out like that, but whatever. I actually like, we might do more of these. I don't know if anyone wants to speak up about that. I kind of like, this is the work I have to do anyway, and I feel like I'm killing two birds with one stone when I do this on a live stream.
My opinion, I like this too because when I'm getting the clips later, I feel like we go through topics quicker and it actually helps like the segments of clipping. So it's good for me too.
Well, I was gonna say I might just start like going live when I'm gonna do this anyway, just to like be like whatever, like might as well get, might as well like give people the opportunity to watch. Um, but we'll see. I don't know if anyone wants to comment on if they'd like to see that, or they just want to see less of me.
Anyone on Twitter?
Uh, we are going to cut. Oh, we dropped SMCI, didn't we? I think I'm going to pick it back up again. How does it look? Damn it, George. We held it forever, and then we dropped this stupid thing. Whatever. Don't be mad, George. We're just going to pick it up again. I always really like that, like that Big Lebowski quote. It's like nothing is fucked, dude. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should be cursing less on this. Can you check if PayPal is still open? On the model portfolio, you know how to check that, right?
Yeah.
Even.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
And then energy transfer too. How are we doing? 353.
They're both long.
They're both open. Remember, check it. Oh yeah, they're both long. Yeah, we're in longs right now. Is Navi live too? Live short. You can tell me that after. I hate when I do this. Sometimes you just press a button and you lose it. Does anyone know what happens when that happens? All right, I got that. Any Excel experts in our midst? All right, we're getting rid of mist because I want to take a look at all of these.
PayPal's open. What is energy transfer ticker? ET.
And you want to check Navi short.
Oh yeah, ET is open too. And then Navi
I
short.
thought they were. I just like Xenia, hotels and resorts. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Mm,
Yep, Navi's open too.
We're doing this. Okay, we got this. We don't have FICO open, do we? Oh, and Humana is the other one I wanted to know. On the long. Do the longs first. Do Humana. We might be too loaded up on
What's the ticker for Humana?
HUM.
I don't even see it coming up.
I think we bought it at some point. Yeah, but it's fine.
My computer is kind of slow though. It's spazzing a bit.
No, I'm blocking them. Like that probably means I only have the non-open ones. So yeah, like don't worry about it. How much time? 3:56. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm gonna finish on time as opposed to late. I've been finishing late and I hate it. Truly. National Vision. Well, I really wanted to get involved in this short. Yeah, okay. All right. Voyager? No. Okay, good. You're making it easy for me. Oh yeah. Yes, but I don't care. All right. Can you give me an updated QQQ and SPY net option sentiment?
QQQ is at 15. SPY is at 39.
Oh, below. It's Diodes Incorporated. Can you look up what that company does? I don't like the short term.
What is it called? BIOS? IT services?
Oh, I don't want to overload. Oh yeah, this is we're loading up on shorts. I don't have Adobe open long, do we?
Let's see.
It doesn't matter. I don't want to add it. So 6, and we're adding 2. That's not terrible. I might want to close out one more of the shorts just to balance this a little bit. Mm, mm. These shorts just do not want to be closed. Um, Maybe this. Or what do I do, George? We're just gonna do this. I know why I'm getting so picky, Stephen. I just don't want this to flip on me. But like the bottom line is, um, being more bearish makes sense. You know what we're gonna do? Make ourselves feel a little better. Going twice on that. No, we're not. Make up your mind, George. Okay. We're gonna go with the most generic thing. It's Thursday, right? All right, we did that. We're good. No comma. I believe we're getting out of Tesla. You know what? We're gonna keep watching Tesla. All right. I learned my lesson with that SMCI. I'm not gonna be so quick to bail. All right. Done with that. Paid subscriber. Just done. All right. Anything else?
I don't believe for today. Stinks we're getting a bearish week, it looks like.
Yeah, it's developing that way. All right. Thank you.
Thanks for everybody watching. Like the video. See you back soon. Probably next week, next Monday, probably. All right. See everybody then.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I think
George.
back at the normal times. All right. Bye bye.
Bye.